Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS Wonderful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Bold and beautiful Liam goes missing. So disappointing. Where is Liam Spencer on Bold and Beautiful? Is he still on the show? It seems like it was only yesterday that Bold and Beautiful fans' jaws dropped over the revelation that the powers that be originally planned to kill off Liam. Now, though the character has cheated death, his storyline seems to have gone to the grave. Ever since he retied the knot with Hope, his appearances on screen have been few and far between. So disappointing. Relevant_Nose_8664 exclaimed on Reddit. I feel like they are wasting. Other viewers were quick to second that emotion. I wish they'd find a spot for him, said Sunnybell102. I always liked him. There is hope on the horizon, of course. Just because Liam isn't front and center at the moment doesn't mean that he won't be again. This is a huge cast, Melodic4990 pointed out. And so many people haven't had the opportunity to shine. I don't mind them focusing on other talent. When the show does get back to Liam, he's well positioned for a tense storyline. On one hand, he's staunchly supportive of stepmother Katie as she launches Logan. On the other hand, ex-wife Steffi isn't going to be thrilled with anything that Liam does to help Forrester Creations' new competition. The Bold and the Beautiful B&B spoilers for the next 2 weeks, February 2nd to February 13th, reveal that Liam Spencer Scott Clifton will discover Eric Forrester's John McCook secret while Rich Forrester Torsten K. gets ready to unleash his wrath. Deacon Sharp will also promise Taylor Hayes. So let's discuss what's in store. During the week of February 2nd to 6th, Steffi Forrester Finnegan will realize Taylor still isn't listening when it comes to Deacon Sharp. That's why Steffi will take her warnings even further and vow to cut Taylor out of her family if she doesn't stop the madness. Taylor will give Deacon updates soon after, so they'll wonder how they're supposed to just forget the love they found. Deacon will promise they're going to figure out how to be together somehow, and Taylor will make that same vow. In the meantime, Taylor and Deacon will indulge in another kiss despite Steffi's rules. Even if Deacon and Taylor try to fight their feelings for a while, there's no way they'll be able to do that for long. Steffi will eventually meet up with Ridge and deliver disturbing news about the man Taylor's fallen for. Ridge will reel when he realizes Taylor is in love with Deacon of all people, and will agree with Steffi about the Sheila Sharp danger. Over with Dylan, Sydney Bullock. She'll have to decide whether she'll go along with Ivy Forrester's demand to leave Los Angeles. Ivy is only willing to keep her mouth shut about what she witnessed at the beach house if Dylan leaves town and never comes back. Dylan may end up lying to Electra Forrester, and will Spencer about a phony job offer on the other side of the country. However, Dylan will meet RJ Forrester soon after, and could perhaps dazzle him a bit. Steffi couldn't find a place for Dylan at Forrester Creations, but maybe RJ could work his magic with Ridge, and convince him to hire her. Whatever the case, Dylan isn't going anywhere. So maybe she'll convince Ivy that she won't be an issue with money coming in and a home of her own. At Logan, Liam will find out Eric is Katie Logan Spencer's new designer, so he'll be happy for them both. At the same time, Liam may worry about the Forrester backlash that's brewing once this secret's exposed. The week of February 9th to 13th may bring Ridge's unleashed fury once he knows about Taylor and Deacon's connection. Ridge will likely rip into Deacon with everything he's got, and order him to steer clear of Taylor permanently. Taylor may also get an earful from Ridge, who may push her to move on with literally anyone else. Now that more people are finding out about Deacon's true bond with Taylor, the risks will be even higher. How long will it take Sheila to realize Taylor and Deacon are in love, especially if they keep sizzling behind closed doors? Finally, it'll be interesting to see what happens between Dylan and RJ. Will RJ and Dylan fall for each other, or perhaps join forces to split up Electra and Will? One way or another, some sparks could wind up flying for RJ and Dylan as this B&B storyline moves along. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say the next 2 weeks will bring some romantic twists and turns, so stay tuned. The silence girding Liam Spencer has come louder than any argument ever offered in the halls of Forrester Creations, and as the weeks stretch on, suckers can't help but feel the absence of a character who formerly stood at the veritably center of nearly every emotional storm. Once the man torn between Hope Logan and Steffi Forrester, once the twinkle of battles, backstabbings, and insolvable choices, Liam now drifts on the fringe of the oil, his presence reduced to whispers and brief scenes that feel more like monuments than stories. It's a strange fate for a character who was formerly slated for death, only to be spared at the 11th hour, yet now exists in a narrative limbo that feels, to numerous observers, just as cruel. Online forums buzz with frustration, disappointment, and confusion. Suckers wonder how a character with so important history, so numerous emotional ties, could fade so still. But as February unfolds, it becomes clear that Liam's absence isn't an ending, it's the calm before a reckoning. Because when the story swings back to him, it does so with secrets, divided commitment, and consequences that could permanently fracture the families he loves most. Liam's quiet return to applicability begins not with drama, but with discovery. At Logan Designs, the atmosphere is hopeful, amped by Katie Logan Spencer's bold new chapter. For the first time in a long while, she isn't standing in anyone's shadow. She isn't replying, she's leading. And when Liam learns that Eric Forrester himself is the creative force behind Logan's debut collection, his response is genuine joy mixed with immediate concern. Eric is a legend, yes, but he's also the primogenitor of a rival conglomerate. Liam understands artificially that this collaboration, while thrilling, is a grease paint cask staying to explode. He congratulates Katie, praises her courage, and expresses pride in her independence, yet the apprehension lingers behind his smile. Liam knows Ridge Forrester well enough to fate that this won't be seen as business, it will be seen as treason. And formerly Ridge feels betrayed. The fallout is no way contained. As Liam processes Eric's secret, the rest of Los Angeles is formerly on the point of emotional chaos. Across city, Steffi Forrester Finnegan reaches the end of her tolerance. Her warnings to Taylor Hayes about Deacon Sharp have gone unheeded, her fears dismissed as overreactions born from old injuries. But Steffi knows Deacon's history better than Utmost. She knows the damage he leaves before, the chaos that follows in his wake, and the veritably real peril connected to Sheila Carter. When Taylor continues to defend Cleric, averring that people can change, that love can redeem indeed the most worried history, Steffi draws a line in the beach. Her claim is devastating in its simplicity: walk down from Deacon, or lose your place in my life. It's a moment that shakes Taylor to her core, forcing her to defy the possibility that choosing love might mean losing her son. Taylor seeks comfort where her heart formerly lives, with Cleric. When she tells him about Steffi's trouble, the weight of it settles heavily between them. Cleric, for formerly, doesn't redirect with charm or bravado. Rather, he promises commodity rare commitment. He vows that they will find a way to be together, no matter the obstacles, no matter who stands in their way. Taylor echoes that promise, and in a moment fueled by defiance and desire, they give in to another kiss, one that seals their fate. Because secrets in this city no way stay buried for long. Steffi soon takes her enterprises to Ridge Forrester, and the disclosure hits him like a punch to the gut. Taylor, Cleric, together. The idea is incomprehensible, infuriating, and deeply particular. Ridge's response is nippy and explosive. He sees Deacon not as a man who has changed, but as a trouble, one connected irrevocably to Sheila and every agony she represents. Ridge agrees with Steffi this cannot be allowed to continue. His fury simmers as he prepares to defy Cleric, and when that battle eventually comes, it's brutal. Ridge unleashes times of resentment, mistrust, and rage, ordering Cleric to stay down from Taylor ever. He warns him that if he doesn't, there will be consequences far beyond broken hearts. Taylor, too, finds herself on the entering end of Ridge's wrathfulness, as he begs, pleads, and eventually demands that she move on with literally anyone differently. Meanwhile, another secret threatens to crump on a different front. Dylan, caught in Ivy Forrester's web of manipulation, faces an insolvable choice. Ivy has seen commodity she shouldn't have at the Sandhouse, and she's willing to keep quiet, but only if Dylan leaves Los Angeles for good. The trouble hangs heavy as Dylan contemplates lying to Electra Forrester and Will Spencer, fabricating a job offer across the country as a reason to vanish. But fate intervenes in the form of R.J. Forrester. Their meeting is unanticipated, charged with curiosity and possibility. Dylan finds herself drawn to R.J.'s warmth and openness, and for the first time, she considers a future that doesn't involve running down. R.J., seeing her gift and eventuality, begins to wonder if there's a place for her at Forrester Creations after all, if he can move Ridge to see what he sees. Dylan's resoluteness strengthens. She isn't leaving. And Ivy may soon realize that blackmail doesn't work when someone decides to stand their ground. As these vestments strain, Liam stands at the crossroads of fidelity and love. Supporting Katie and Logan means standing against the ineluctable Forrester counter-reaction. It means risking Steffi's wrathfulness, continuing old injuries, and conceivably kindling a commercial war that will ripple through his family. Yet Liam has no way been one to wince down from delicate choices, only to struggle deeply with the consequences. His discovery of Eric's secret places him in a unique position, one that could either soften the blow or make it far worse when the verity eventually comes out. And when Ridge's fury is completely unleashed, not just over Taylor and Deacon, but over Eric's treason, the fallout will be seismic. As February continues, the walls begin to close in. Sheila's shadow looms larger, the threat of exposure grows, and the lines between love, fidelity, and treason blur beyond recognition. Dylan and RJ's connection sparks questions that could shatter Elektra and Will's relationship. Taylor and Deacon's passion threatens to destroy the fragile peace Steffi has fought so hard to cover. And Liam Spencer, formerly allowed to be fading into the background, stands poised at the center of it all. His choices set to review alliances, enkindle battles, and remind everyone why his presence was no way meant to be forgotten. The coming 2 weeks promise exposures, competitions, and emotional earthquakes that will leave no family untouched, proving formally again that on The Bold and the Beautiful, no secret stays buried, no love is ever simple, and no character truly disappears for long. The pressure that has been stewing beneath the face of Los Angeles eventually begins to boil over the moment Ridge Forrester realizes that the backstabbings girding him aren't insulated incidents, but connected vestments in a web that threatens to unravel everything he has erected. Ridge prides himself on control, over his company, his family, his feelings, but control is precisely what he feels slipping through his fritters now. Eric working with Logan Designs is one blow. Taylor entangled with Deacon Sharp is another. And worst of all, the two heads are unfolding contemporaneously, forcing Ridge to defy the intimidating verity that the foundation of the Forrester heritage is cracking from within. At Forrester Creations, the mood shifts dramatically. Formerly whispers of Eric's involvement with Logan Designs begin circulating. Workers change uneasy ganders in the hallways. Contrivers wonder whether their fidelity will be questioned. Directors sweat that Ridge's response will be nippy and merciless. When Ridge eventually confronts Eric, the clash isn't just professional, it's deeply particular. Eric insists that his collaboration with Katie is about creativity, respect, and belief in her vision, not treason. He reminds Ridge that Logan Designs isn't the adversary, it's an elaboration. Ridge still sees it as a protestation of war. The argument escalates snappily, voices rising, old resentments resurfacing. Ridge accuses Eric of undermining him, of choosing the Logans over his own son, while Eric counters that Ridge's preoccupation with control is suffocating everyone around him. The room feels heavy with decades of undetermined conflict, as father and son stand on contrary sides of a line neither knows how to abolish. Unknown to them, Liam Spencer is caught in the middle formerly again. Though he tries to remain probative and politic, the strain is apparent. Liam understands both sides too well. He respects Eric's art and independence, admires Katie's courage, and believes in Logan's right to live. At the same time, he knows Ridge's temper, his pride, and the desolation he can unleash when he feels crossed. Liam begins to sweat that his quiet support of Katie will soon come an open protestation, one that will bring him dearly with Steffi. And sure enough, the pressure between Liam and Steffi begins to rise. Formerly more, their fragile co-parenting peace hovered by old patterns resurfacing. Steffi senses the shift nearly incontinently. She notices Liam's distraction, his guarded tone whenever Logan Designs is mentioned. When she learns the full verity, that Eric is designing for Katie, and that Liam knew before she did, her response is explosive. To Steffi, this isn't just business. It's another illustration of Liam straddling the hedge, refusing to choose, refusing to stand forcefully with the Forresters. She accuses him of siding with the Logans, of enabling an attack on her family's livelihood. Liam pushes back, averring that supporting Katie doesn't mean betraying Steffi or Forrester Creations. But the argument snappily spirals into commodity far more particular. Old injuries renew. Old allegations resurface. Steffi wonders audibly if Liam will ever truly be done choosing between worlds, and Liam fears that no matter what he does, it'll no way be enough. As commercial pressures enkindle, emotional chaos spreads away. Taylor Hayes finds herself decreasingly insulated, torn between the love she feels for Cleric and the growing distance between her and her children. Steffi's claim haunts her. Ridge's combination echoes in her mind. Yet every time Taylor tries to step down from Deacon, she finds herself pulled back by the sense of peace and understanding she feels when she's with him. Cleric, for his part, is determined not to let fear mandate his future. He tells Taylor that he's tired of running, tired of apologizing for who he used to be rather than proving who he's now. He promises her that he'll cover her, indeed if that means standing up to Ridge, Steffi, and anyone differently who tries to tear them piecemeal. But peril lurks near than either of them realizes. Sheila Carter, ever perceptive, begins to smell a shift in Deacon's jest. His secretiveness, his emotional distance, his turn down to completely engage with her manipulations, all of it raises red flags. Sheila starts connecting blotches, her dubitation, dropping into commodity far more dangerous. It doesn't take long before she overhears enough to confirm her worst fear: Cleric is in love with Taylor Hayes. The disclosure sends a bite through her. Sheila doesn't just feel betrayed, she feels hovered. And when Sheila feels hovered, she becomes changeable. Meanwhile, the youngest generation finds itself entangled in drama that glasses the chaos of their elders. Dylan's decision to stay in Los Angeles marks a turning point. Though she continues to hide the verity from Elektra and Will, the guilt eats down at her. Her growing bond with R.J. Forrester complicates matters further. R.J. sees Dylan as further than trouble. He sees gift, ambition, and vulnerability. Their connection deepens through late-night exchanges and participated dreams, and ahead long, the chemistry between them becomes insolvable to ignore. Dylan begins to question her passions for Will, while R.J. struggles with the knowledge that pursuing Dylan could enkindle yet another family feud. Elektra, seeing that commodity is wrong, grows decreasingly suspicious. She notices Dylan's evasiveness, Will's confusion, and R.J.'s unforeseen interest. Determined to cover her relationship, Elektra begins digging for answers, ignorant that the verity she seeks could shatter everything she believes about fidelity and love. Ivy, watching from the sidelines, grows nervous as well. Her influence over Dylan weakens with every passing day, and despair begins to cloud her judgment. She considers raising her pitfalls, ignorant that doing so may expose her own secrets in the process. As February progresses, the fault lines between families consolidate. Ridge's fury shows no sign of cooling. His relationship with Eric remains simulated, his trust fractured. At the same time, his preoccupation with stopping Taylor and Deacon intensifies. Ridge issues warnings, makes demands, and indeed begins to consider drastic measures to cover his family from what he views as ineluctable disaster. Taylor, pushed to her emotional limit, eventually confronts Ridge, averring that she has the right to choose her own happiness. The battle is raw, painful, and undetermined, leaving both of them shaken. And at the center of it all stands Liam Spencer, formerly again the reticent fulcrum upon which everything balances. Though he has spent months on the sidelines, the storms gathering around him make one thing clear: his exposure was no way endless. It was medication. Because as secrets come to light, alliances fracture, and love is tested from every angle, Liam will be forced to step forward and choose not just between families or businesses, but between the man he has been and the man he wants to come. As the weeks ahead promise exposures that will change everything, one verity becomes insolvable to ignore: on the bold and the beautiful, silence is no way safety, love is no way simple, and the once no way stays buried for long. As the pressure tightens indeed further, a single decision threatens to enkindle everything at formerly. Liam, eventually realizing that staying neutral is no longer an option, takes a quiet but decisive step that sends shockwaves through both families. When Ridge learns that Liam has openly backed Katie and Eric's collaboration, refusing to apologize or retreat, the treason cuts deep. Ridge sees it as evidence that the Logans have formerly again pulled Liam into their route, and his response is cold, calculated, and dangerous. Lines are drawn, and the business war turns particular. At the same time, Taylor reaches her breaking point. Faced with losing her children or losing herself, She chooses honesty over fear and tells Steffi that her love for Cleric is real and not going down. The concession leaves Steffi shaken, torn between wrathfulness and heartache, as she realizes her pitfalls may have pushed her mama further down rather than guarding her. Away, Sheila watches from the murk, her reservations completely verified and her tolerance gone. With Cleric slipping from her grasp, she begins to compass her coming move. One that could expose secrets, destroy fragile alliances, and pull everyone into her web. As feelings collide and commitment fracture, the stage is set for an explosive turning point. One that will leave no relationship unchanged and remind everyone that on the bold and the beautiful, the calm no way lasts for long.